Morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week and welcome to Monday. Wow, last week was kind of a tough one, wasn't it? I've been hearing from a lot of people that last week was a struggly week. We didn't have a lot of really great news aside from schools reopening in Scotland. And yeah, I think a lot of people have been struggling. I admit it was tough for me too. On Saturday, this was what I did. I ate some Netflix and chilled while watching Netflix. So that was fun. But then yesterday, I went outside. It was sunny, it was really warm and springy. And I saw that spring is starting to spring. Like crocuses are up, some other bulbs are starting to peep through. And it really just filled me with hope that the seasons are changing, things are looking up. And I was really tired, but I forced myself to spend a half hour in the garden just cleaning up some of my flower beds because they say that time outdoors is really helpful and restorative. And I did feel a lot better. So if you're struggling, if it's hard for you, don't worry, you're not alone. But sometimes it's just finding that little thing that you can do that can add a little bit of brightness to your day. The other big thing that we did this weekend, was our big trip to Costco. And I'm going to take you there with me because that's the weekend that we had. Now, just to be clear, we live in the Shire and Costco is in the Shire, so this was within the regulations. And so I'll take you to Costco with me. Here we go. And here we are arriving at Costco. One of the things I love about Costco is the wide aisles and abundance of goods. Another thing I love about Costco, look how wide these parking spaces are and even space between them. I love it. So that was the big adventure of the weekend. Who knows what I'll get up to next weekend? Maybe Aldi, maybe Asda, who knows? The choices are endless, but nothing really compares to Costco. I mean, it's just epic. So, last but definitely not least, we have our fourth and final guest star of My Monday Message. This is Professor Ruth Taylor, our Vice Principal for Education. And I had a great time talking to Ruth. And there's a little blooper in there because in my fourth and final interview, I did forget one of the questions. So look out for that. But anyway, Ruth saved the day. So over to Ruth. So I am delighted to have Ruth Taylor here, our VP for Education. Ruth, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Amy. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. That's great. So I have a few questions for you this morning that you've agreed to answer. And my first question is, coffee or tea in the morning?
Tea all the time. I don't even like coffee, but I love my tea.
Okay. And how do you take your tea, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
I'm very particular. It has to be medium strength with a tiny bit of skimmed milk. Anything other than that, and it's a problem.
Okay, fair enough. It's interesting because I had Chris Collins on a few weeks ago, and he had also some very specificities about brewing tea, so that is fully understandable. Possibly a strange question for you. Have you ever tried cinnamon in your tea?
I have never tried cinnamon in my tea. No, I haven't. I could, if that's a recommendation.
We have a running thing on My Monday Messages. I'm sure you've seen that, cinnamon is the thing that really cheers me up. And actually, for a while, I had some cinnamon tea. It was just like cinnamon with a black tea in a tea bag. And that was really good. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, but you can always just put a little sprinkle of cinnamon on the top of your tea.
Okay. I will do that tomorrow.
Oh, great. And let us know how it is. George also said he would try cinnamon in his coffee, and he would let us know. So, yeah, sure. So let us know how it goes.
I will.
Great. Thank you. And my last question, what is the one thing that you've done that's helped you to cope during lockdown this past year?
I really like my own company, thankfully, given I've had to spend a lot of time in my own company. And the way that I like being with myself is out walking. So walking has been the absolute lifesaver for me. I put my podcast in my ears. I get out into the fresh air. I live in the countryside beside the sea and walk, walk, walk. So
Mhm.
the warm days and the light days coming back is just absolutely a gift. And it's brilliant to see the sunshine out there.
I've felt so different these past few days. It just, you get to this point where you really start noticing the extra sunlight, and plus it's been warm. It really felt like spring. So I absolutely hear you. And also, I was talking with George last week, and he was talking about walking and making use of our 2 hour window free of meetings, which I've also been taking advantage of as well. So that has really come in handy, and we're all very grateful for it. So thank you for instituting it along with the rest of SMT.
That's okay. But can I tell you my cinnamon thing?
Yes, please do. Go ahead. Yes.
So my breakfast in the morning, I have plain yogurt, fresh fruit or frozen fruit, but defrosted, nuts and cinnamon sprinkled on my plain yogurt.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. You know, you're my fourth guest star on my Monday message, and this is the first time I forgot a question. But I thank you for keeping me right, because you were right. The question was supposed to be about breakfast, and I too. Well, that was the third question, and I too put cinnamon on. I put it in my porridge. I put it on my toast sometimes. And people have been sharing cinnamon ideas on Twitter as well. So I'm really glad to hear that you have the yogurt with the honey and cinnamon. It's just that extra bit of warmth. So
Yeah.
that is really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
That's okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on My Monday Message. Yeah, and take care. Thanks so much, Ruth.
Thanks, Amy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was just so much fun talking to Ruth. And I really just wanted to thank all of my guest stars, Chris Collins, Nick Edwards, George Boyne, and Ruth Taylor. Thank you so much for sharing these little tidbits about your life. I think it's so interesting to learn about, these little things. We see people in positions of leadership, and, we see them in one way, but then, at the end of the day, they're drinking their coffee or tea in the morning. I was very pleased that they were all willing to try cinnamon in the coffee or tea. So I'm going to wait to hear if anyone tried it, what they thought of it. And I hope that you are also trying to add a little bit of cinnamon to different things in your life, whether it's real cinnamon or it's just a little bit of extra spice, something that gives you an extra bit of pep or kick to your day, because we will get through this. Things will turn around. Things will get back to normal, or a different normal, better normal maybe. But for now, hang in there. Take care of yourselves, practice self-care, and don't forget the cinnamon. Bye.